I had a client come to me and they had a name picked out for themselves, and then I went and looked them up online, because I always do that with everybody, is look them up and see how they come up in Google. And I was like, oh no. Because when I went to look for them, their exact name had a .com, somebody else had the .com, and had a business that was exactly the same. Hi everybody, I'm Daphne Canales-Lees, and this is another episode of Shameless Marketing. Today's question is about choosing a name. I had a client come to me and they had a name picked out for themselves. They had bought the .ca, which is the Canadian extension, and did all their paperwork for their name. When I went to look for them, their exact name had a .com, somebody else had the .com, and had a business that was exactly the same. They had the same services, everything. Even if you clicked on the About Us page, you couldn't really tell it wasn't my client. So I want to teach this because it happens so many times that people don't search for their name before they go register it at the local registry where you do the incorporation, the partnership, or before they go find a name. So tip number one, if you're starting a brand new business and there is no .com for your name, try to think of something a little bit different, or add one more word to your name, or whatever you can do to make that work. So I'm going to give an example here. So we're going to type in Topaz Law in Google search. So what I would do when I first look for a name is I would do a little bit of creative research to see who else is out there with a name similar to what I'm looking for. So Topaz Law, and it looks like there's Topaz Research, whatever KTMC is, and I'm just gonna scroll down, and this is what people are gonna find when they Google me if my name is Topaz Law. And then there's something called Topaz Wrong Termination Lawyers. So that's not really a super positive thing when people search for my name. So yes, I can do a lot of work to make sure that all those move somewhere else and I'm on page 1 of Google, and that's a different workshop that I'm going to teach. But just be careful when you're searching that you see what your potential audience is going to see. So another one is Topaz Legal. I might search for that to make sure and see what's happening. What can I find here? So it's not really any competitors or anything major. And Topaz Attorneys might be another name. And so there's something called Top Attorneys and a Topaz Attorney search. So anyways, that's just the idea. You look for things that different ways of spelling your name and different things where you might get your customer tripped up. Okay, so say that you've got an amazing name, you've done all the research, you're super confident that this is where you want to go. What I usually like to do is do a search on DirectNick, because they give you suggestions on what you can call yourself if Topaz Law, for example, is not available. I'm doing Topaz Law and it's giving me, oh, Topaz Law is available. So that's great, the .com, but then also they're going to give me suggestions. So these are some suggestions. For some reason it wants to be to Natural Law. Topaz Law, Topaz Natural Law. So they're just giving me different suggestions, and you can just play again with different names and it'll keep giving you different suggestions. And then you've got some premium domain names. So what that means is that they're suggesting, oh, I think you want to be a lawyer. So if you bought familylaw.xyz, this is how much it would cost. Law.pink, law draw. So there's all these different suggestions and you can keep looking through. So lesson today is, if you are looking for a name before you go register and pay all this money to the corporate registry and all that stuff, make sure that you have a .com for your name. Even if you're going to go with a .ca, make sure you have some kind of a .com. So maybe if Topaz Law.com was taken, you might go Topaz Lawyers, the Topaz Law, whatever different things you can, just to have the .com, because that's what people are most used to. Also, if you're maybe not law, but if your business is going to work outside of Canada, I would encourage you to use a .com. If your business is going to stay within Canada or within Europe or whatever, you can use your local extension. So .ca would be okay for Canadians if you're never going to leave Canada. But if you're going to work anywhere outside of Canada, you want to have a .com.